payroll and withholdings and such. Some things I just want to point out for future use is this is all data that I've already verified, so this is kind of like the data that you're given. I plugged it into this Excel sheet called Daniel's Correct Calculator in Chapter 11. And this is created by the professor, but I went and I created like the actual formula inside each cell, so that way when you input the values, it does the formula for you, gives you the correct value. And so the ending cumulative earnings, OASDI, Medicare, anything in yellow is a calculated value for withholdings and such, taxes and things like that. And so one thing I just want to point out here is this blue one right here, 80.6 OASDI. Why is it less than 297.6, even though this person made less money than this person? These are separate people. Each row is a separate person. And so the reason that I'm sort of thinking is that 147,000 is like the max that you can make to be taxed on. I'm probably not correct about that. If some stranger is watching this, correct it in the calculator or in the comments. But I take 147,000 and I subtract that from 145,700, and that equals 1,300. And then you multiply that times 0.062, and that gives you $78, which is incorrect. So let's do this again. 145,700 minus 147,123, and that equals 1,300. 1,300 times 0.062, and that equals 80.6. So that's how you find that value. And I guess the way in the future to just know that that's the calculation you're going to be doing there is if this is equal to more than 147,000 per pay period cycle, maybe, or ending cumulative earnings. So notice that this person made 152,000. No one else made over 147. So I don't know if that makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what I did. And then it's going to give you your values. Just put them in correctly. Just make sure you type in right. Just copy paste and it should be good to go. And then we have to journalize the park company's salaries. And so this is part requirement to journalize park company's salaries and wage expenses accrual for the current pay period. So this is salaries and wages expenses, right? Not payable. And then we're going to go through and we're going to itemize every wage expense. So you're going to have things like employee income tax. You're going to have FICA, OASDI tax, right? That's right here, right? OASDI. And then employee income tax, which is right here. And then you're going to have the FICA Medicare tax as well. And you're going to have health insurance. You're going to have charity that was donated for this company. And you're going to have the salaries and wages payable. And then the journal is going to be to record salaries and wages expense and payroll withholdings. And then you just plug and play, right? So what is my total salaries and wages expenses? 25,500 is what we're told. And how do we get that? From employee. So you're just going to plug and play. So my employee income tax here is going to be income tax 700, and I'm just copy and pasting. And then my FICA OASDI tax, I'm just going to be quiet, play some music while you do this stuff. The medical stuff, and then you have health insurance, and then you have charity, and then you have salaries and wages payable, which is going to come from our net pay. Let's see if that's correct. Okay. And then it says journalize park company's expense for employer payroll taxes for the current pay period. So this is going to be the payroll tax expense. And you're going to do your FICA, OASDI, because employer and employee pays the FICA, Medicare as well as OASDI. And then you're going to have the federal unemployment tax, and you're going to have the state unemployment tax as well. So I forget what they call it. And then this is going to be to record employer's payroll tax expense. And then again, you're just going to find the individual credits first, and that'll help us come up with the payroll tax expense. So what is our FICA OASDI? Well, it's the same as up here, right? We're both paying it. And then what's my Medicare? And then what's my federal unemployment? Well, the unemployment, this one's weird too. So in order to get this number, the FUTA and SUTA, FUTA, you're given like an actual expense. And then you're looking for, where is it here? 5,000. Let's see here. Looking on previous notes. Okay, there we go. See how this person made nothing the previous earning cycle, and they made 6,000 for this new one? You're gonna multiply 6,000 by 0.6, and that's gonna equal $36, and that is how you decide that number. So once again, you're going to find the person who didn't make any money in the previous cycle. Maybe this is multiple people, and you now have to get them taxed up to speed. And then the state unemployment tax is going to be this number, which is in this case $6,000, and you're going to multiply that by 0.054, and that's going to equal 32.40. And then it says round all amounts to the nearest cent. Oh no, that's $324. Just kidding, $324. And then we have to add all this up. 1,258.60 plus 369.75 plus 36 plus 324. And then that equals 1988.35. 1988.35. I don't think that is correct. Wow. And then we get to journalize the payments to the employees. I'm looking at old notes here. And to do that, we are going to do our salaries and wages expense. And that's going to be, my salaries and wages expense is going to be, oh, we calculated that, didn't we? Yeah, salaries and wages payable is what I'm actually paying off, and here's my salaries and wages payable, and I pay them in cash. Why not? And this is to record payment of payroll, withholding, nope, wages. There we go. Uh-oh. Okay, what did we do wrong? 15894. Okay, so maybe that's not the same number. Let's see. Indeed, it should be the same number. 1589465. Salaries and wages. And oh, that's because I have it as an expense, y'all. This is payable. I'm making a payment. There we go. All right, cool. And then requirement 5, journalize the payment for withholdings and employer payroll taxes. And so let's do it. So we're going to debit a bunch of stuff here. We're going to do the employee income tax payable. We're going to do FICA OASDI. We're going to do FICA Medicare tax. We're going to do health insurance. We're going to do charity fund. We're going to do federal unemployment tax payable. We're going to do state unemployment tax payable, and we're going to pay all of this in cash, and this is to record payment of a payroll, withholding, and taxes. Jeez Louise. And let's figure out this this total here of my payments, withholdings. My employee income tax payable, that was given to us, and here it is. And then my FICA OASDI is that number multiplied by 2. So let's see if this works. I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah. So we're going to take that number, which is 1258.60 times 2, and this is my number. So why? Because employee and employer are both paying that tax. And then the FICA Medicare tax payable is 369.75, and we're going to multiply that by 2 to give us 739.5. And then we have our health insurance. Health insurance was already paid for. And there it is. And then we have our charity fund payable. So now at this point, we're just putting in numbers. Federal unemployment tax. And then we have our state unemployment tax. And then we have our cash. How much money do we actually pay? So let's add it all up. I'm going to get this wrong. 7194 plus 2517.2 plus 739.5 plus 653 plus 130 plus 36 plus 324 equals $11,593.70. I'm gonna do this one more time. 7194 plus 2517.2 plus 739.5 plus 653 plus 130 plus 36 plus 324 equals 11. I got a different number. 11. Oops. I'll just write it right here. 115907. 90.7. Let's try this again. 7194 plus 2517.2 plus 739.5 plus 653 plus 130 plus 36 plus 324 equals 1. Well, I got that number again, so we're just going to see if that's correct, and it is. Absolutely amazing.